What's up everybody, welcome to the Leap channel. Today I'm going to be showing you some right sideline skills that you can use to create attacking opportunities for your team. We're going to go through 5, how to do them, and some drills on how to get better. Let's go. So guys, the first skill we're going to look at is that lifted skill down the line. Now, it might come across from a pass, in which case you're going to receive across the body, turn the stick underneath, and throw it into the space behind. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a teammate, so I'm practicing on my own. So I'm going to be doing this with a drag, and I'm going to start with the ball on the inside of my left foot. Now, as I drag the ball across, I'm going to be throwing it into the space and running after it. This skill is really good if there's space in behind. If there's defenders in there, you're going to have to keep the stick in contact with the ball, and it's a bit more of a carry. But we're looking to lift it over and run after it, a little bit like a chuck and run. Chuck it into the space and run after it. So, key points for this: start with the ball outside the left foot, drag across. Now, as the ball comes outside of my right foot, I'm going to turn the stick on a 45-degree angle and throw it into the space running after it. So here, drag across, throw, and run. So a really good drill to practice the drag is to just get used to starting the ball outside that left foot, dragging across and stopping. This is the first bit of the skill. So we're moving that defender with the drag. So if we can perfect the first bit of it, that's going to really help us put the skills together at the end. So drag across and stop, nice and quick, drag and stop. Transferring that weight from my left leg to my right leg, okay? There and stop. That's the first drill. The second drill, you're just going to get used to actually turning the stick from this position, which is nice and flat, to a 45-degree angle. So get here, turn it, and then chuck it into the space and run after it. There, turn, and chuck. So same again, okay, just received across, the stick's on the ball, turn, chuck, and run after it. So the key bit to the chuck and run and the lifted skill is the acceleration that you go after that ball, okay? If I just chuck it and run after it, chances are that defender's going to stay engaged with me. If I really put the burners on and accelerate into that space, I'm going to be 5 yards ahead of that defender before they know what to do, okay? So just on here, one more, turn it, chuck it, and sprint after it. So the last part of this is now putting it all together. So we're going to drag from left to right, chuck it, and then really accelerate afterwards. So here, drag and accelerate. All right, the next skill that we're going to learn is the left foot slide. Now, I call it the left foot slide because we're sliding the stick down the left foot of the defender. Now, you can see from my practice, I've left a little gap between the cones and the sideline. Now, this is important because when defenders will defend, there will be gaps. We've got to use the whole field, and you can utilize those to really accelerate into that space and beat your defender. Now, this skill is particularly good in the circle along the baseline as well. So we're using it for the sideline if there's a little bit more congestion, but we're also using this in the circle as well. Now we're going to start again with the ball from outside our left foot, okay? I'm dragging it across, and as I'm dragging that ball, I'm dropping down and sliding my stick with the ball on that baseline. So the stick is nice and flat. Now we use a flat stick so that we're really strong on the ball. If I just drag and drive in here, quite often the defender might be able to pick that, or they defend it slightly better. Now, if I stay low and I'm really strong and hands are on the floor, it's going to be much harder to defend. So I'm here, drag across, slide that stick. And the big part about this is also the next piece. Once you've eliminated, you accelerate to that space afterwards to create distance between you and the defender. So again, how do we practice this skill? Now, the big thing is being in a low balanced position, and when you drag that ball across, you've got to dip into this right leg. So now my knees are right over my toes. So I'm here, I'm dropping down, and now my stick is nice and flat. You can see how low I am here, and this creates strength on that ball. So here, drag across, drop down nice and low, and really accelerate into that space. Now, we want the strength on the ball when we're going past that defender so that he can't take that ball off us easily. From this position, in order to create the distance between me and the defender, I've got to get from here into a ball carrying position pretty quickly. So what we're going to do, just to practice this drill, I want you to get used to coming, well, weights on our left leg. We're just going to come nice and low and accelerate. So here, low and accelerate. One thing you can also do to practice this is start with your weight on your right leg here and just exploding into that space. Explode. So now you've practiced the strength side and the movement piece of this. Add that ball in, right? Now we're going to start with the ball outside the left foot. Drag across nice and low, hands to the floor, and then accelerate afterwards. Bang, drive, and accelerate. Okay, everybody, let's say that you've now eliminated your opponent multiple times on the outside. What's going to happen? They're going to actually start second guessing and coming a little bit more to protect that sideline. Here's where we can use an inside drag. Again, if the ball was passed, I'd allow it outside my right foot. And from here, I'm just going to drive and pull inside so I open up the middle of the field. Obviously, still haven't got a teammate, so I'm going to add the drag. So I'm going to drag in here, outside my right foot, and then drag back inside. Now, you've got to be really careful with this, because if you drag it diagonally forward, you're still going to give that defender a chance. You've either got to come laterally, nice and sideways, or even backwards, okay? And this is going to help you keep it away from that defender. The other thing, we don't want a small drag. If I just come to here, that defender's still engaged. So can we get to a point where we're driving and we go to one hand? Look how big that is, right? That's the big drags that's now going to open up that center of the field, and we can really start to score some goals from the top of the circle. All right, guys, so we're 3 down. We've got 2 to go. You've got to wait for these because these are my absolute favorite skills. We've looked at using the line and going down the line. We've looked at opening the inside. Now we're going to look at a little bit more 3D and a bit more body deception. All right, so the next one is all about if you've got space and you're going at speed. We want to use some 3D skills. 90% of the game today is played in the air. We all know that. Lifted skills, aerials, squeeze shots, you name it. This is one skill that you can use to really eliminate at speed. The idea of it is pretty hard, okay? So you're gonna have to watch closely. We're going through some steps that you can make it a little bit easier for you guys as well. So the skill, we've received a little bit further back from the cones. Our defender's not really engaged with us at the moment. Now, I wanna be able to track down the outside to bring that defender across and hopefully open some space up in the midfield. But I'm gonna start with the dragging the ball outside my right foot, and from here, I'm going to start to lift the ball, okay? So as it comes up, just lift, 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 and then touch inside. So the way this one's going to work, I'm going to start with the ball inside. Again, still no partner, training on my own, but that's how we get stuff done. Drag the ball out, get that ball up in the air as if I was going to go down the line. And then once I get to the cones, or when the defender starts to engage, I'm going to actually cut inside whilst the ball's in the air, okay? All right, guys, so a really hard skill to do at speed, but you can practice this from a stationary ball, okay? Just getting used to bringing the ball across, up, and change can have a real impact to doing this at speed. The more you do this stationary, the better you're going to get, the more confident you're going to feel, the easier this is going to become when you want to do it in a game. One thing we do when we do our Leap Live sessions is we practice a lot of stationary skills like this. So it builds that confidence, it gets you stronger on the ball, and ultimately it's going to help when you come back out on the field. So doing this more and more and more and loads of reps is ultimately going to help you when you come to doing it at speed. Get used to dragging the ball there, lift forward and change the direction in the air. All right, so the reason this is my favorite skill is because you've got to have such quick hands to be able to pull this off in a game. Now, the idea of the slice is that we get the defender and the ball moving this way, moving towards that sideline, which opens what? The inside of the field, which is where we really want to attack to. So by taking the slice, it then takes me this way, okay? Defender thinks that you're going to go down the line, but with quick hands, you're going to come underneath the ball and tap it back inside. Start with the first drill that I want you to get used to is just getting used to creating a little pop with the slice. All right, now the way you do this, you're going to slice your hands, have the stick on about a 45-degree angle. You're just going to slice underneath the ball. So I'm moving the stick together towards it to create a little pop. So just get used to practicing that. All right, and that ball should move to that right side. pop. Now, whilst that ball's in the air, you're coming underneath it to tap it inside. So slice and dice, okay? Here, up and back. Now, another skill that we practice 5 nights a week live online, the Leap Live platform, okay? So you can practice this skill at home with us and we'll give you feedback on that. So when you come out to do these sorts of skills in gameplay situations, you're gonna feel much more confident because you've already practiced it, okay? So back to it, slice and dice. Now, once you get better at this, start to do it on the move. So you're just gonna start in line with the cones. I'm gonna run towards the cones, come underneath it, slice and dice it back. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully that's given you some insights to how you can eliminate down that right side. And the more you practice this, the better you're going to get. It's as simple as that. If you like this video, please like it. And if you want to see more of this, subscribe to our channel because we're going to be posting much more regularly. And I'll see you all very soon. Thanks very much.